Namaste, Hamisha Kushro Bitia. I am JV and Dr. Minakshi, Assistant Professor in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. Today in this session, we will discuss the protozoal keratitis or the protozoal corneal ulcer. First is the acanthamoeba keratitis. Acanthamoeba has recently gained importance because of its increasing incidence, difficulty in diagnosis, and unsatisfactory treatment. Then the etiology of the Acanthamoeba keratitis. Acanthamoeba is a free-lying amoeba found in soil, fresh water, well water, sea water, sewage, and air. It exists in trophozoite and encysted form. It occurs in the two forms. Then the mode of infection. The corneal infection with Acanthamoeba results from direct corneal contact with any material or water contaminated with the organism. The following situations of contamination have been described. Contact lens wearers using the homemade saline means from contaminated tap water and saline tablets. If a homemade saline solution is made for the contact lens, and it may lead to the acanthamoeba keratitis. Then second mode of contamination, uh, the other situations involved include the mild trauma associated with contaminated vegetable matter, salt water, diving, wind-blown contaminant, and water abuse. Trauma with organic matter and exposure to muddy water. These are the major predisposing factors in developing countries. The next is the opportunistic infection. Acanthamoeba keratitis can also occur as opportunistic infection in patients with herpetic keratitis, bacterial keratitis, bullous keratopathy, and neuroparalytic keratitis. Then there are the clinical features of Acanthamoeba keratitis. The symptoms, these include very severe pain out of proportion to the degree of inflammation, watering, photophobia, blepharospasm, and blurred vision. Then comes the signs of Acanthamoeba keratitis. Acanthamoeba keratitis evolves over several months as a gradual worsening keratitis with periods of temporary remission. Presentation is markedly variable, making diagnosis difficult. The characteristic features are initial lesions of Acanthamoeba keratitis are in the form of limbitis, coarse opaque streaks, fine epithelial and subepithelial opacities, and radial keratoneuritis in the form of infiltrates along corneal nerves. Advanced cases show a central or paracentral ring-shaped lesion with stromal infiltrates and an overlying epithelial defect, ultimately presenting as ring abscess, and hypopyon may also be present. Here there is an image which show the ring infiltrate. In image 1 they have shown the ring abscess, and in the next image there is a patient with advanced acanthamoeba keratitis. Then when we come to the diagnosis part, the clinical diagnosis of the acanthamoeba keratitis, it is difficult and usually made by exclusion with strong clinical suspicion out of non-responsive patients being treated for herpetic, bacterial or fungal keratitis. Then next is the laboratory diagnosis. The corneal scrapings may be helpful in some cases as under potassium hydroxide mount is reliable in experienced hands for recognition of acanthamoeba cyst. Calcofluor white stain is a fluorescent brightener which stains the cyst of acanthamoeba bright apple green under fluorescent microscope. The next is the lactophenol cotton blue stained film. It is also useful for demonstration of acanthamoeba cyst in the corneal scrapings. Then culture on non-nutrient agar, the E. coli enriched, may show trophozoites within 48 hours, which gradually turn into cyst. Then comes the treatment. The treatment is usually unsatisfactory. First is the non-specific treatment. Non-specific treatment is on the general lines for corneal ulcer. What were the general lines of corneal ulcer? There was the um, cycloplegic drugs were given, systemic analgesics and anti-inflammatory drugs were given, and the vitamins. And the cycloplegic drugs like 1% atropine eye ointment or other cycloplegic drugs like 2% hometropine eye drops, they can be used. uh, they explained the what is the significance of cycloplegic drugs. Atropine is used to reduce the pain from ciliary spasm and to prevent the formation of posterior synecdoche from secondary rhodocyclitis. Atropine increases the blood supply to anterior uvea by relieving pressure on the anterior ciliary arteries and so brings the more antibodies in the aqueous humor. And atropine also reduces the exudation by decreasing hyperemia and vascular permeability. And the other non-specific treatment was the systemic analgesics and anti-inflammatory drugs such as paracetamol and ibuprofen, which relieve the pain and decrease edema. And then vitamins A, vitamin A, B complex, and vitamin C helps in early healing of the ulcer. These were the non-specific treatment. Then we come to the specific medical treatment, which includes the 0.1% tropamidine isethionate brolin drops, and there is the neomycin drops, polyhexamethylene biguanide 0.01% to 0.02% solution, then chlorhexidine. Other drugs that may be useful are paromomycin and various topical and oral imidazoles such as fluconazole, itraconazole, and micoconazole. And duration of medical treatment is very large, around 6 months to 1 year. Then last is the penetrating keratoplasty. It is frequently required in non-responsive cases. What is keratoplasty? You should know first is the keratoplasty. It is a surgical technique of corneal preservation, corneal replacement, you can say. So this session completes here. In next session, we will discuss the allergic keratitis. Thank you so much. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you're satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you so much.